Is it too late to buy Apple stock? Welcome to the Money Growth Academy, where we demystify the stock market, simplify investing, and multiply your opportunities for financial success. And guess what? The other day I was reading an article, and it was titled, "If You Purchase $100 of Apple Stock in 2002. I believe it was written by JB Maverick. And it gave a brief summary of the incredible run of Apple stock since 2002. But here, spoiler alert, it showed how a $100 investment in 2002 would have grown to 95 times its original amount. And that's without adjusting for dividends or splits, which would have increased the value of the investment. So in summary, this is what it says. From 2002 to April 12, 2019, when Apple closed at $198.87, the stock had multiplied through stock splits and appreciation, and that hypothetical 4 shares bought with that original $100 investment became 56 shares and worth over $11,000. Impressive, right? But actually, what does it mean? Well, if you didn't own those shares at that time, it means absolutely nothing to you. Hindsight is always 2020, but unfortunately, the market doesn't pay on hindsight. To be honest, I would have never bought Apple stock back then. It would have never passed my stock valuation process. I call it the dumb process, which gives me a more repeatable and reliable way for me to evaluate stock. The D in dumb stands for durable competitive advantage, meaning does the company own its market and have the ability to stave off competition? The U, it's for understanding, meaning do I understand how they make money? The first M for management is the management of quality. And the second M is the margin of safety, simply meaning buying the stock at a market discount to limit my downside risk of actually owning the stock. You can actually watch our recent video that we released called "Should You Buy Boeing Stock?" And it has a part 1 and a part 2 to it. And there you can see how I use the dumb process to evaluate if Boeing's latest stock price drop, which was as a result of the recent unfortunate Ethiopian airline crash, does it indicate a buy signal? So would I have bought Apple stock in 2002? Absolutely not. It would have failed my stock evaluation process at the time. It would have fallen into a kind of a speculation box, and I don't like to speculate. Heck, I mean, think about it. Apple was making iPods, and iTunes wouldn't open for another year. It would be June 2007 before we even saw the first iPhone. So let's say this, despite not buying Apple stock in 2002, I've been able to average an 85% gain on my Apple shares. To use a baseball analogy, you can win investing just hitting singles, doubles, and triples. You don't always have to have a home run because investing has no set number of innings. In my case, Apple has presented some great opportunities to hit a few doubles and heck, a few triples and bring in just a few runs. So what? You didn't buy Apple in 2002. Who cares? Look, it was a fun article to read about a hypothetical $100 investment, but this is the real world. We can sum this article and others just like it to what Nissan Taleb, the author of the best-selling book named Black Swans, calls Black Swan events, which is a story we tell ourselves about an event that came as a surprise and has this major effect. And we later inaccurately rationalize, that is, we tell ourselves rationalize about the event's occurrence after the fact, now having the benefit of hindsight. The most important thing to learn from this article is not feeling like you lost out because you didn't buy Apple stock back then in 2002. Few people could have known how the Apple story was going to turn out past January 2002. And even those few were still hoping. There's a quote I heard that said, "You should not act as if the things that should happen are the things that will happen." Let me end with this question. If you had a choice to buy a new Apple iPhone or Apple stock today, which would you buy? Let us know in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. Oh yeah, invite your friends over to the Money Growth Academy. See you next week.